Hello everybody, Snapjam Woodworks here. I'm Ski. Welcome to my small shop. I also have a hobby of shooting out, and I also have a friend that has a shooting range in his yard. And we wanted to sight in our rifles and wanted a table to shoot on, and so I wanted to make a table. And I needed to store a table in a very small space in my shop. So this is what I came up with. It's not my idea. I got the plans offline, but here's my shooting table stored right over here. You can see it kind of packs away nice in the corner of my shop below my clamp racks. And right there next to my router table. So I'm gonna stop the video here, give me a chance to pull it out and we'll put it together. All right, here we go. I got it out from the wall and I have it all put together for transport. I have T-nuts in the wood, embedded in the wood, and it's some wooden knobs that I made down here. You see right here. And it's just all together for transport. As I said, you know, where I parked the truck out to the actual shooting range, 25 yards, but it's kind of awkward to carry. So it's really easy to carry it now. It's all packaged up. Just carry it up like this. Let me set it down. There's the knobs. Okay, so it actually, like I said, transports real easy, and we're going to put it together here real quick. These knobs right here. The seat off. I made it so we can put the knobs back in real quick, not dropping. There we go. Put this out of the way. Right. This is the front. Down here. So these goes together with these slots, and then the table is held on by these tenons and mortise and tenons. So instead of trying to lay all this out and make sure all the measurements were right on spot, what I did was I built the table upside down on top of the table. I put it together upside down on top of the table, and then traced out on the bottom of the tabletop where the mortises went. And then I took an oscillating saw and I cut the holes out, but I used 2-inch wide blocks, and I'll put in some video that I took of that as I was cutting it here, and you can see how it was really easy to use the oscillating saw and those blocks as a guide to get holes that were pretty close to where I needed to be and the right size. Now I'm ready to cut the mortises for these tenons. So I cut some blocks and I CA glued them to the table. I took the tabletop, laid it flat on my bench, assembled the table all upside down so I can measured everything, centered everything, and then I traced out where the mortises go. And now I have these cutting guides. I'm going to use a plunge saw, and I'm going to go, or an oscillating saw, and I have a guide now to make those cuts a lot more accurate than drilling a hole and sticking the jigsaw in there. So we'll see how it goes. So this is made out of a single sheet of plywood. If you got someone or access to a 48 by 48 CNC machine, it'd be a perfect project for that. I got the plans from a channel called The Way to Native Chronicles. He has 3 or 4 videos out there about how to transport the table, put it together, and some ideas for making the entire package smaller where he's cut the table in half and made a tongue and groove, and you put a hinge down in this area here with a locking bar, and then it can fold up and fit into a trunk of a car. I have a truck, so I didn't need to do that. On the bottom here, you can see I put in some maple feet, and that is just to protect the bottom of the plywood coming in contact with the wet ground here. So, table's ambidextrous. This is set up for a right-hand shooter here. For a left-hand shooter, we'll turn this around, and the table subsequently be put up on the other direction as well. That's the tabletop, and then here we have the seat. Just like that. There you go. So, all in all, it's not hard. I cut it out, like I said, with a circular saw and a circular saw cutting guide that I made specific for this project. Lined up, I laid it all out, lined up my cuts, a lot of plunge cuts, and then finished the cuts with circular saws in the corners and the space-saving cutouts down here. And then also finished it with a handsaw. Worked really well out there the first couple times we used it. Out there sighting our rifles. Transports easily. It's going to be a lot easier to carry now that I got it all kind of packaged up. But again, I'll put the links in the video for the way to the Native Chronicles. You go get his plans. Just be aware, if you want to make square edges on the longer pieces, you're going to have to take one set of his plans and print them out inverted, and then transcribe the measurements so they're not reading them backwards. Also, you're going to try to lay this out left to right on a right to left pieces of plywood. That got me confused, so once I printed it out, it was good to go. All right, I'm Ski, Snapjam Woodworks. This is my small shop. Number 2 is on the camera. Thank you.
I'm the reason why the name happened.